Good morning. Welcome back to day 14 of Momo Strategy in the Simulator. Let's take a look at what we got today. The S&P 500 is still on uptrend. Pre-market today on Friday. And the scanners are looking a little bit more lively than it has been. NPT popped up, but selling off now. NPT occasionally pops up as a Chinese stock with no news, and it has made big moves previously. BBM is our leading gainer today. $11 price range, a little bit more expensive. But other than that, this morning, everything else is a higher float. That's up more than 20%. BBM appears to be continuation from regular hours with a high of 1227. This is a biotech stock. But its last news was April 14th. So not sure why it made this move. Canadian company. ICG popping up here. It's a higher float, but it's got an AI headline. I don't like that it's both higher float and cheaper price. Kind of reaching that pivot there of 228 on the daily. Kind of funny that everyone's coming out with these AI headlines now. Now that a shoe company did it and saw 600% increase, the 1,000% peak. We'll see if this one holds up or not, but I didn't want to jump into this one because it's Chinese with this fluff headline intended to take advantage of the AI Momo. CBM popping up here as our leading gainer and the only thing that's moving. Got a bit of a pivot at 11:55. A lot of selling up at 54 in this stock. For now, we're just waiting for either this to be moving quickly or some fresh news. CG is curling up a little bit. But the problem is that we're below the 200 moving average now here on the daily. So we kind of have double resistance between VWAP and the 200 moving average. If it can break over, then that is very bullish. Break and hold. So although some things are moving quickly, it's a bit more active than it was before. I think we're still in a bit of a cold market. We're not quite completely in a hot market yet because things are popping up and not holding up. ICG popped up and not hold up, did not hold up. The only thing that held up in the past few days was Bird. Like yesterday, we traded Micey. Micey held up for a little bit here, but then it came all the way back down during regular hours. We had the opportunity to trade it during pre-market when it was going up, but UCAR popping up with significant volume. Another Chinese stock. topping tail there, all the way up to 190. MX seller coming out. I'm not really liking any of this stuff this morning. Waiting for 7:30. Ooh. I'm a little bit tired today, but hopefully that doesn't affect my trading. We kind of have a bit of a Chinese theme today between NPT, UCAR. Um, Curling back up above VWAP. Gets pushed back down. Ooh. Interesting. MX seller puts it on 170, and as soon as it starts getting filled, it moves the order up. I'm just gonna read in my phone for a little bit. Not gonna get tempted into any of these. Getting a little bit sick. $7:30. It's take a look, see what we get. I see doing a bounce off the lows. Not really interested. What has news? Seems to me that it's not up enough on the day. Not obvious enough. And Micey had this AI headline the other day. How much further could it go? E-Lab popping up. I don't really trust E-Lab. It's not been a very good stock to trade. Pops up to 5 there, but then it stalls out. It makes a new high, but it fails to break through 5. Breaks 5, goes up to 520. I don't know. I'm not really interested in E-Lab. It's too choppy of a stock usually to trade. If you take a look at its chart in the past, like its history here, it's had days where it had a lot of volume pre-market, but it didn't hold up. So it just hasn't really gone anywhere. Every time it pops up, it fails to hold up. That is, unless my 200 moving average is kind of scaling this. Weird. Yeah, my price chart was scaling it weird because of the reverse splits. It did pop up one day here, but I came back down, sold back off. In any case, I mean, it popped over 5, went up to 520, and then came back down. So it's just not something to feel FOMO over. I've gotten maybe 20 cents out of it here. Not worth the risk. Worship actually came in double top during regular hours here after it came back down, this meme stock. Now it's making another attempt right now, but People are hoping it's going to go up again. But like touching a meme stock like this is like gambling. Like it did break the high of this pivot and go up 23, but who knows what it's going to do. It's entirely dependent on whether meme stocks are a theme or not, I guess. I don't know. I feel like if I get in it and it drops 3 points instantly because it doesn't have any real reason why it should be moving up, it's going to be a sad day. There hasn't been any news. I'm going to wait for 7:45. If I don't get anything at 7:45, then I'm going to get up and take a walk around because I'm feeling a little bit tired this morning. Wait for 8 a.m. news. So I need to wake up a little bit. Maybe eat something out of the fridge. In my opinion, all of these stocks that are popping up right now are traps. I'm hoping that we can get something with news. It's a wild card Friday again. Interestingly enough, Fridays have been the day that I've made the most money so far during this series. So we'll have to see. Air popping up. We're in a big window here, all the way up to 9. But the float is 13 million shares, and I don't see news on it. Some people are also saying it's easy to borrow in across this community chat. It's quite the move for a 13 million share or 13 million float stock. It pops up to a high of 390 there, and it suddenly just drops back down to 350. This is why you got to be careful about the stocks that you choose. I mean, if you get in down here at 340, it looks like that you could have made some profit. You could have for sure, but how do you anticipate that the stock's going to move that much down to 340? It only has 138,000 shares of volume. Not really moving that quickly. I guess there is technically continuation from yesterday above 380 here, right? Or above 280. So I guess you could call this a breakout here at around 320. You could have gotten in for the squeeze to 340, but it's a bit riskier. And if you wait for confirmation, get in on the first pullback there, maybe you buy first candle, make a new high at 370. You might take a little bit of profit as it comes up to 390, but then it just slams back down. So what's your risk reward? Because maybe you sell half up at 390 as it stalls out from 370, get 20 cents on half your shares, and then the other half you have to sell for a loss. Anyway, it's 7:48. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to take a little bit of a walk around waiting for 8 a.m. I'm not really interested in any of this stuff right now, and I'm a little bit tired, so I need to wake up. So waiting for 8 a.m. I'm going to turn off my camera and I'll be right back. I'm back. Ugh. Check my stream health and stuff. All right. We walked around a little bit. Woke up a little bit. So nothing really changed in the 7 minutes I was away. All of these stocks are kind of traps. Elab popped up, it sold off. Micey kind of popped up earlier, but hasn't been moving very well. Popped up, sold off. This is a meme stock. UCAR, Chinese with no news, popped up, sold off. NPT, Chinese stock, popped up, sold off. Everything else is higher float. Oh, itchy nose. So 3 minutes to 8 a.m. Hopefully we get something. Jess and Ross community chat. It's only a matter of time till that Dumbo gets filled short on a stock like WSHP and it rips to 100. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. Maybe evil saying that I want the short sellers to blow up their accounts, but when you're deploying a short selling algorithm that does order spoofing, kind of deserve it at a certain point. Because order spoofing is illegal, or it should be. Coming up to 8 a.m. I'm just watching the scanners. Another AI headline. People are really trying to take advantage of the headline. LRHC popping up on the AI headline stuff. Very, very low float. 100,000 share float. Recent reverse split. And just a reminder, like I'm just looking at these penny stocks because I'm experimenting with them. If I get in one, whether I win or lose on stocks like these, I'm not including them in my metrics. And if a stock pops up that's worth looking at over a penny stock, I'm going to trade it every time because those are the stocks that I'm actually going to be trading with real money if I decide not to include these penny stocks in my my strategy by the time I switch over to trading in a brokerage account. I'm not getting in this one though. It sold off too much. Bird popping up again. Don't really know if I trust it after it sold off. So nothing interesting at 8 a.m. unfortunately. So our next opportunity is going to be 8:15 or 8:30. Hope that we get something today. I want at least one good trade because that would put me break even on the week. I believe I'm down $14 on the week because of Monday and Tuesday. I was green yesterday and I was green on Wednesday, but it's not enough to cover the drawdown from Monday. If I haven't fumbled the way I did on Wednesday, then I would be up this week and I wouldn't have to worry today. Because I could have made a significant amount on that move on bird on Wednesday if I had just kept my cool about me. But if it ends up being a small red week, then it's all right. Not a big red week. And this week has been by no means easy to trade. The only day that there was a significant opportunity was on bird on Wednesday. The other days have just kind of been slow for my strategy. I don't trade penny stocks. Penny stocks been popping up, but once again, I'm just gonna read on my phone while we wait for news because none of these are worth watching at all today. Once again, I'm not really interested in Micey. It's not going to be a good idea to trade it after it sold off yesterday. There would be a lot of bag holders on the way up, so it's not going to make a big move. The longer I sit here doing nothing, the more tired I'm gonna get. Can't do much about it though. Market either gives opportunities or it doesn't. Unless I lower my quality standard just to take trades and lose money. I'm not interested in this. It's just popping, like it's pop, sideways, pop, sideways, but it's only popping like 20 to 30 cents. Here, it didn't even pop 10 cents. I don't know. I need to go make a coffee because walking around earlier didn't help. And I don't want to get tempted to jump into this. So I'm gonna make a coffee. Wait for 8:30. 8:30 is in 10 minutes. Should be quick enough here. We'll be right back. right. Coffee acquired, side quest completed. Apologize. I know today is a bit boring, but this is what I mean by back to basics. Uh, while I'm in trader rehab, gotta wait for the best quality setups. Don't want to go further into the red, get triggered, get emotional. I need to raise my accuracy, and none of this stuff fits with the strategy that Ross trades. And my strategy is pretty much like Ross's strategy. I just label it differently. I occasionally trade the open, gap and goes, and VWAP setups are basically just ABCD, bull flag, and cup and handles, flat top breakouts, all that stuff. This is how I remember it. But if there's no opportunities, then can't really do much about it. Not trading this type of price action, so gotta wait for something better. 4 minutes, 8:30. Even just as an interesting side note, uh, Ross has a 5 pillars alert in his day trade dash scanners. The last alert that pinged was at 6:50 a.m. So there hasn't been one since before I started my stream. I mean, right now, although the market is slightly heating up, while it's been in the cold market for the past couple of months, the goal for a beginner trader is mostly just to keep your head above water and kind of survive the cold market until the hot market comes around and there suddenly starts being a lot of opportunities to trade within your strategy, which is what I've been doing so far. I mean, although past few weeks have been kind of a struggle, I mean, I have been a little bit profitable. Was up $90 last week. If I don't take any trades today, then I'm only down 14 bucks this week. And then the week before that was basically break even. And then the week before that, I was it was $170 profitable. Or it was like 140 or something. Trading that that big move on ARTL. Would have been up a lot more if in Fumble Bird. But as long as you can make a little bit here and there, then it's enough to survive. As Ross says, survive until you thrive. With a daily goal of just 2.5% during a cold market and a weekly goal of maybe about 10%, if you have one no trade day, that's enough to live off of if your account size is big enough. Right now, it's $25 for a $1,000 account size, but for a $10,000 account size, it's $250 a day. For a $100,000 account size, that's $2,500 a day. Even with just a $10,000 account, if you can consistently maintain about $1,000 a week, you're not doing too bad. So it's 8:30. Watching the scanners. I don't see anything popping up here. Slow Friday. Slow Friday. I do wonder if maybe some music would be nice, but I don't really want to get my stream copyrighted. I prefer if my VODs weren't muted. I know that there are royalty-free playlists and stuff, and I have Spotify, but no, if they're any good. Not to mention, makes my stream harder to watch if there's other people that have their own music playing while they're watching. Everyone has their own tastes in music. EVM curling back up. It's our leading gainer. EBM breaking the 200 moving average on the 1 minute there. It's a false break. Hmm. It's kind of funny. After sitting around for long enough, you have intrusive thoughts creeping into your mind. What if I just bought worship and it goes up like 3 points and then I can finish the week green? But I wouldn't do that with real money. So it's more important to maintain your risk than to make profit. What I call switching from a reward oriented to a risk oriented mindset. But sometimes you still have those intrusive thoughts like, what if we just did this to make money? But I cannot. This is why I have reading. Keep myself occupied. Occupado. Micey is doing a test of VWAP here with that candle on the 5 minute, but bit of a rejection there, a bit of a false break. Over 4, back down. $45. It would be nice if I could set up a sixth monitor somewhere so that I could read on that. Hmm. You have it set up so that I can watch YouTube videos and stuff without the sound coming through stream, but where would I put stream chat? Question. S&P 500 breaking through all-time highs once again. I did watch a few YouTube videos about the current state of things, and it's kind of interesting how we sold off after the war in Iran, and despite everything that's happening down there, we kind of rally back up anyways. Despite everything in the Middle East, despite like the current economic conditions in the United States, kind of have a two-tiered economy going on here. US oil is dropping further. Big sell-off here. Perhaps some news just came out at 8:45. I don't know what the news is, but Six minutes to 9 a.m. We don't get anything 9 a.m. It might really be a no trade day. I haven't finished tagging my stuff on TraderView yet, but as you can see this week, we're still down 11 bucks. That's not too bad, even if we're in a no trade day, but my mistakes on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday and all made it so that we're down a little bit this week. We don't get any trades here at 9. But overall for the month, we're still up a little bit. Past couple of weeks have been really difficult. In the past few weeks even. For the month of April. But overall, we still have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 green days and 4 red days. A pretty good ratio. 155 bucks back around when I first restarted building the metrics there in March 25th. My cumulative profit and loss doesn't look very, very good. Kind of go up there, may have a big loss, have a max loss, have a drawdown, slowly come back up, have a bit more of a drawdown. Now we're slowly coming back up again. So during these cold markets, pretty much what I need to do is avoid these drawdowns like this, these bigger drawdowns, because there's less opportunity to make them back. So perhaps during a cold market, back to basics is the best option. See this $53 drawdown and then the 2 on Monday and Tuesday. And we haven't really had any big days other than ARTL and then Bird the other day, which I messed up. Otherwise, I would have had a lot more profit on Wednesday. But setup wise, I mean, for high day squeeze setup, 60% accuracy isn't terrible. 1.5 to 1 profit and loss. Oops. Gap and go setup even after I include the halt resumption there as part of my gap and go setups. Ended up being a lot lower. 55%. If you include the scratch trade, then it's about 60% win rate here. But the losers ended up almost as big as the winners, just because it's a little bit more difficult to manage risk on these gap and goes. So I have to consider whether I want to continue including them. They were very successful at the beginning, but then I just lost several times in a row. Other than that, we know that curls have been working in this cold market for me. And the VWAP setups are kind of 50-50. The only one that's really been working a lot has been the bear trap, but and that also dropped down to 58% the more I traded it, the bigger sample size I got. Only a very small part of my profit has been the bear trap setup. And then breaking news. Both the breaking news trades that I traded were 100% win rate, but very, very small winners, $12 winners. We haven't really had too many breaking news setups that have popped up and held up very well. Most of my profits are coming from the high a day squeeze for floats less than 1 million shares, up more than 100% with fresh news. Everything else has just kind of been smaller profits so far. But it is 9 a.m., so let's keep a watch here for some news. EFOI up 38%. We got room. Very light volume. That's a big move. Then high volume selling. For a second there, it was up like 150%. Popped from 250 all the way up to 550. But it was on very light volume, 6K shares, 20K shares. Can't reasonably get in that and manage your risk on it. So it is our leading gainer despite coming down here. Holding the 20 EMA right now on the 10 second. I'm not sure about the news. Take a position at 4 here. Need to add for the break over 4. I expect it to come back up to 4 here, but if it fails to break, then I have to get out. This is our leading gainer, so it has a good chance of breaking here. No, it failed. We'll get back in if it starts pulling away here. It's got a bunch of sellers coming out though. It is holding the 9 EMA. Hmm. If it pops back up over 4 here, it might be a bit of a bear trap. Because we're holding the 20. $10 left on that 1-minute candle. Back up over 4. I'll take the position. Stop is 4. Looking for that pulling away. Like we should see some capitulation here if it continues squeezing up and holding this 9 EMA. We're up 90%. It's our leading gainer. The 2 million share float. Back out. Still not pulling away. Got to find the right entry for when it starts pulling away here. 424 is our high of the pivot. So I'm not sure. I thought I put an order through there. Okay, I'm taking a position at 450. Looking for the squeeze up to 5. We're holding. Feels pretty heavy. Couple seconds left on that 1 minute candle. Back out. I thought I pressed the buy button when it was squeezing up here, but it didn't do anything. I'm not sure why. I guess I wasn't clicked on my order entry window or something. So we got to find the right entry on this. We're already $25 down. I'm 3 for 3 on losses right now. So I got to be careful, or I'm just going to go further in the red today. This thing it feels like it shouldn't be so heavy. I'm not sure why it's so heavy. I was 473 there. And this 5 minute candle is 468. Sorry, the 2 minute candle. 5 minute candle is 468 as well, but $57 seconds left on the 5 minute candle. If we break over 450, it's going to turn from red to green. $15 seconds left. This type of thickly traded stock with fresh news is perfect for a bear trap setup. So if it pops back up over maybe 416 here, then we're going to look to get back in. Once there's an imbalance to the buy side, and it should pop up quite a bit. Popping up. So I'm going to take a position at 420. Stop is 416. The squeeze back up to 450. Her stop is it's 415. We're not really pulling away. I'm just going to get out before it drops down and look for a re-entry. We are holding there. 5 seconds left on that 1 minute candle. Take a position looking for the breakthrough 450. Stop is 430. Got 20 seconds left on that 5 minute candle, which is forming as a hammer. I'm willing to give it a little bit of room to move here. Since it's grindy, I expect if it breaks 450, it's going to pop. So I need to get in early. Break 450 up to 460. A little bit of resistance up there. Previous high was about 468. or pivot, not high, but scale out a little bit. I think I'm lagging a little bit on my level 2 here on my day trade dash. I don't know why. Definitely lagging. I'm going to scale out a bit more. Pops up there. I'm going to add back. This squeeze up to 5. Got a couple of profit targets at 5. Yeah, I'm lagging like a lot in my warrior trading sim here. We break 5. We hold 5. We do, so I'm going to add this squeeze up to 525. Set a couple profit targets there. Get out and wait for a bit of a pullback. I might have had a more confidence to add more if I wasn't like lagging in the sim. It's really weird. Like there's a 2 or 3 second delay on my button pressing in my orders. And I'm not sure if that's what happened earlier when I pressed my order button to get in like way back here at 413 for the squeeze up to 450. I think I pressed the order button and my order didn't get filled because it was sitting on it was just sitting on the bid because it didn't go through right away. I accidentally didn't have my order entry window up for my open orders. I just realized that as I was trying to figure out what was going on. So I'm not going to be able to go back into the VOD to see it, unfortunately. But I'm pretty sure that's what happened. It confused me. And even there, even there, I was lagging on as it was going on the way up. That's why I was scaling out so much because I was afraid that if it drops on me, then I'm not going to be able to get out right away because my entries are lagging. So I'm going to have like significant slippage. This is a simulator, so it has lagged on me a little bit before. It doesn't happen very often, but it does happen. Never really had that problem with brokers though. So I'm not sure whether I should take out that loss that I had up at 450 because I kind of jumped in with FOMO after my order didn't fill because of the lag. At the end of the day, I still am responsible for, as I mentioned in my momentum recaps that if my order doesn't fill, my hands should come off the keyboard, and it didn't happen that time. So I should probably label this one as an emotional trade, but I'm probably going to keep it in my metrics. Even though I should have had a bigger winner today, getting in at 450 or 4 for the squeeze up to 450. I'm going to go back and look at the VOD though and see what happened, or I'll try to. And then I'll make a decision then. Right now we're still creeping up a little bit. It's very grindy. We are 4 minutes to the opening bell. This is the only stock that I would have on watch. This might be a good gap and go setup for a breakthrough 550 and a squeeze up. Previous high day was 555. The only thing I'm concerned about now though is if I'm lagging, trading at the open is probably not a very good idea. But I felt there towards the end of my last trade that it was kind of going away because I took this last buy here at 921. That's a significant break. Do we hold? We hold, so I'll add. Top is 555. Not pulling away, so I'm going to break out or bail out here. I filled a little bit high at 568. I thought I got in at 560, and I was getting out for a 7-cent loss. I'll have to go back and watch the VOD and see if my orders are still lagging. It would be kind of annoying. So, previous resistance and support around here. Let's see what happens. I was 588. Significant buying, so I'm going to buy for the break of 550 there. Doesn't pull away. Get back out. Wait for an opportunity. If a red to green move there, I'll get in for the break. You break. We come back down. Still kind of fighting for control here. Just have to cut it. Have to cut it before it gets worse. Double bottoming off of 5. Here it went up to 571. Pops up there. But it rejects. But it comes back up again. 10 seconds left. I think I'm going to buy for the break through 6. Since it's coming back up, even after rejecting, that's significant buying. Put a profit target for 650. A couple orders filled. I'm going to hold for the halt here. Not halting up yet. All right, I'm gonna sell the rest on the bid. We'll see what the halt ends up doing. I decided not to hold into the halt. It's a little bit risky since it is pretty high. So it might resume flat. I am also like I'm kind of over trading here a little bit at the open. So what I should have done, I mean, maybe what I should do going forward is not trade the first few minutes of the open because it's too volatile. If I had just waited for maybe like the first 3 to 5 minutes to see it holding, I see it bouncing here, one, two bounces, and then it comes up, right? And right here was kind of the trigger for entry, was where it sold off, like it rejected 6, came down, and it still bounced off 5. So there's significant buying support there. And as this candle kind of gets engulfed here and it breaks back up through 6, and that's kind of the buying trigger for a move higher. I did overtrade a little bit at the open here. Also, another thing that I did incorrectly was I kind of held and hoped here a little bit at 530 for like a 40-cent loss. Otherwise, I'd be up a lot more than I am right now. I should have just cut it immediately. Or I think it triggered me. This is the one where it went up to 570, and I thought it was going to break right then and like go all the way up to 6. But then it came back down, so I held and hoped, hoping that it was come back up again. So I still have a little bit of that holding and hoping habit. I did end up cutting it before it ended up going even lower, but could have been a much bigger green day. I think these are kind of the kind of green days that I've been having. It's like it could have been so much better if I either rein in my discipline and trade safely, or my ordering is off, my timing is off, just by a little bit. Like I have the right idea, it's just that the timing is off. And my discipline sometimes is slipping a little bit. The resumption is at 41.12. Only gapping up 10 cents right now. We're a little bit extended. So a dip and rip would be a dip off of 7 for the pop back up to 750. Okay, now it's gapping up all the way to 750. I'm only going to trade half size here if I see an opportunity for entry because it's a little bit riskier. Since I'm past my $25 daily goal, I could trade with full size, but I'm not going to. We'll see. I might not get in here. I have to see what it does. 37. I don't like that. So it resumed, popped all the way up to 850, and then dropped back down. A lot of selling up there. Ends up working anyways. The dip and rip would have worked, but I just didn't like how it had this huge topping tail. In fact, that would have been quite good. 750 all the way up to 9. Wow. 950. But it's too risky to get up here now. It's a bit extended. It's got a huge range. So I don't want to push my luck here. Considering my level 2 has been lagging, I kind of overtraded at the open, flipped from red to green. This would put us green on the week instead of red on the week. If I make a mistake and go back to red, then I'm going to feel awful the whole week. So I think I'm going to be happy with the $32 green day with that last trade on that rip from 6 all the way to $7.15. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a recap this Sunday. It has been 2 weeks since my last recap. I'll give it a thought here. I've kind of showed it on stream already, like what's been going on. So the $32 green day today at the open. We end the week about 21 bucks in the green. Which puts us at $100 on the month. And we're about halfway through the month right now. That's 10% of a of a $1,000 theoretical account on the month. So we're still about 20% away, 20 or 30% away from cold market monthly goal. So my cold market weekly goal is about 10%. And my cold market monthly goal is about 30 to 40%. So we're not quite there yet. This has been a tougher market, and the first week was practically break even here. But at least we're making progress. I just have to rein in the losses that I'm taking at the open. So I've dealt with the curling patterns, so we're not trading curling patterns anymore. I've dealt with the setups that weren't working, the retest setups, and I've been patient. I've only been trading quality news. And although I did overtrade a little bit at the open today, and I did overtrade that stock a little bit, I think, during pre-market, at least we ended with a green day today. I'm going to go back over my VODs and kind of take a look, see if it's worth doing a recap on Sunday at 7 a.m. But we're no longer in a drawdown here again. Just need to figure out how to reduce these drawdowns so that it's the P&L curve is a bit smoother. As well as, so with the $20, $32 today, then we're up over 250 bucks so far in the past month or so. That's not bad. Not great, but not bad. But anyway, I think that's going to be it for me today. Thank you for whoever stopped by and watched the stream. I'll be back either on Sunday at 7 a.m. if I decide to do a bonus stream going through my strategy and my metrics and what I've changed. But if not, then I'll be back 7 a.m. Monday, usual time. Thanks, Bass. Yeah, I know, right? Like, it's so tempting to take these dip and rip sometimes. And I was tempted, but as soon as I saw the red flag there, I'm like, nope, just walk away, stay green. And earlier, when I was green, probably needed even then to walk away during pre-market. But yeah, see you next week. Have a good one. I'm off for now. Take care.